I mean, for those who are probably watching and saying, what does that mean? Or may have people that they know. I mean, how would you describe some of the challenges you may have, Lala, especially as a recording artist?
Um, it kind of changes. It kind of changed from decade to decade because
A
some
decade.
symptoms I had before I didn't have before. I didn't have like social anxiety. I didn't always have that. Um, Sometimes they understand why I crash out after they hear the whole entire story and my perspective. They're like, okay, that makes sense, but okay, how can we do it this way? So it's one of those things.
Yeah.
And then there's sometimes where, it's not right, but they still gonna have my back. They're still gonna have my back. They're not gonna
Mhm.
condone it, but they're still gonna have my back. And
Right.
Right.
I lean on them, they lean on me. Like, it's it very it okay, it hindered me a lot because a lot of the things in the music industry now people are understanding that it's just not so great. And I'm very vocal and I'm not one to kind of just, I like to address things. So when I would address things, it didn't go well.
Wait, I mean, with the group members or the labels or the
No, the
producers?
labels with the group members, sometimes I mean, they just have to deal with if. But the good thing about it is, if I am having an unstable day or off day, I let them know. So they kind of are my barrier. They're like my human barriers. Even if we have to go out places, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try, but da 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 da. Keep me away from this person. This person might be a trigger. This person might not be a trigger, or just a big crowd might be a trigger. But I kind of let them know, and then we'd be like, all right, let's go, let's go, let's go. They'll kind of be my mouthpiece to kind of just shield me, and that's what we do. We cover each other.
Yeah.
So everyone has their weaknesses, and I look at it as a strength. Like it makes me unique. I'm not ashamed of it. So it
Mhm.
gets such a bad stigma. So many people think that you walk around and you're like, it's that you're not. It's a pendulum. It's just like autism. There's so many spectrums to being having mental issues. Now, don't get me wrong. There are days when I'm like, but yeah, there's such a broad spectrum of, but one thing I don't like is people that try to use it as an excuse to be mean and be nasty. You're just mean and nasty because I'm
Yeah.
very kind
Right.
and nice, and
Yeah.
9 times
Hmm.
out of 10 when I go off, it's for a reason. Like I tried. Like once upon a time I didn't try. Like it would be instant, but I have grown to, count and look, 5 things I can see, 4 things I can
Yeah, yeah,
hear.
yeah,
Like
yeah, 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 yeah.
I don't
The
like when
smell
you
to
speak
yeah.
to me like this because it makes me feel. So I've gotten better with
Hmm.
my words
Wow.
and communicating, and that has helped a lot. So, if I am having an off day, and we all do, like it could be parenting, it could be marital, it could just be life. It doesn't even have to be a reason. Like obviously you are a professional in this field. Like it doesn't have to be a reason. Like I could just be
Right.
off. Yeah.
When
Yeah.
you guys were young, well, not that you guys aren't young now, but when you guys started off,
We're not, but it's
when you guys
okay.
started off, just before you got introduced to Trackmaster and stuff, how was Lala, and did you guys say, okay, no, one for all for one, or how was it back then?
It was well, again, we weren't privy to knowing, like we weren't knowledgeable about those things. I mean, it just seemed like we would just call her the pit bull. So we just looked like, oh, she's the one
Right.
with the short temper.
Okay.
Like we were like, okay,
Yes.
she's the one with the shortest temper, so we gotta watch her because this could go left. This could go left. And it
Right.
was constantly like that kind of feeling because we don't know any better. We don't know what's going on. We're not knowledgeable, like I said, about what she's going through. But
Hmm.
through the years, and we
Yeah.
did research too. Like we didn't just
Yeah.
like she said it and we was like, oh, okay, cool, that's what it is. Great. No, we did our
Right.
research and made sure we
Yeah.
understood so we could better ourselves to helping her, which
Right.
Right.
helped us even with certain things that we were going through that we didn't know, like, hey, this could be, we got to look into this. So yeah,
Yeah.
it was a learning experience, but we got through it.
And then
Yeah.
you have
But
to remember, I didn't get diagnosed until I was 30.
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and God willing, I'll be 50 this year. So
Wow.
it's yeah. But go
Yeah.
ahead,
And
Akisa,
then
sorry.
on top of that, no, no, you're good. On top of that, like we said before, we're New York girls. So
Yeah.
automatically, people
Yeah.
already expect, and it's another stigma, which kind of sucks because we're in this era and it's been bothering me so much. We're in this era where men and women don't like each other. Men think that there are no good women, and women think the same thing. And men always had this perspective of, well, New York girls are always aggressive, and New York girls are always this. They got smart mouths. They're always talking. They don't know how to listen. They can't take accountability. All these things that are placed on us. So just being from New York already and having to, to kind of walk around with this strength and like just be on alert all the time. You know what I mean? Like we always had our own little personality, so to speak. To some degree, we all kind of didn't have a filter. Me, not so much. I was the most passive one who wouldn't say anything. I would just let things happen, and I have to be like, "You need to speak up," and I'll be like, "Okay," But now at 48, and I've been noticing for the past year or so that I've kind of it's weird. Like, not that I understand like Aaliyah or Lalisha or even the fourth girl who was in the group before, that I don't understand their personalities or why they did the things that they did, or or why things bothered them a certain way that they did. At 48, I completely get it. Because now I'm like, I'm even looking at myself like, I never know what's going to come out of my mouth. And I think it's because of the fact that I've allowed so much, like so much of like people with their narcissistic behaviors and people just thinking that they can just treat people however they want to. So now I'm at a place where it's like, one of them might have to tap me out, like, okay, I'm gonna need you to just, but I get it because it's life, it's life. People just walk around and, assume that you can just speak to people however you want to. And that was one of the things, like back then, we just thought it was part of her personality. Like she was like like Aaliyah said, she was our pit bull. Like, you're not gonna say and do whatever, but Aaliyah was the same way. Like, you're not gonna speak to me. Yeah. I mean, we all were, but just different variations of that. But I think like the girls just said, at this age, we've learned to, to pretty much like shelter each other and guard each other up before anything gets worse. We try our best to. Yeah. Yeah, we try our best to.
But I do wonder then, because if Lala, you didn't have the diagnosis when you were 30, then would you guys not think, wow, she can wreck this for us? And personality wise, how did you guys? I mean,
absolutely. We were like, yo, we would always be like, yo, she's just on go. Like, she's like I said, we said she was our pit bull, but sometimes it was like, yo, you gotta relax. But again, we're not knowing what she's going through. So it just looks like she's just ready to fight all the time. Like, any little thing, she's ready to go. So we have to then be prepared, because if she fights, we all fight. So that's how it's gonna be. So we have to always be on go, like always be ready. So it did kind of frustrate us, and we would have our battles within each other, but as sisters, like, yo, you gotta stop this, you gotta, and then she's like, no, because, and then it's like we're going back and forth. But now that we understand, it's nowhere near. We get it. We get it.
Yeah. It's funny. I have a funny story when Aaliyah and myself one time went into the corner when we first noticed that it was something just beyond what we thought. We were at Polk's house. We were at Polk's house for New Year's Eve, and we were playing games, and we were playing Pictionary. And people were like, going up, and it's like charades. You go up and you guess your turn. And we were all sipping, having our little New Year's drinks and having a good time. But people were laughing, and we were like joking amongst each other. But I don't remember who was the person that was up at that time that triggered her. And when it was her time to go up and she got it, she just started like Pictionary, Emma, and because I kicked it. And we were like, whoa, it's a game. But that's when we realized, wait, there has to be, there's something, something's happening. But it was kind of like, it was still years after before we actually realized it, but we knew that there was something that we had to kind of lean in and be like, what's going on,
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of Halftime Chat. Please remember to subscribe, share, and comment. But most importantly, why don't you become a member of Halftime Chat? We've got amazing videos, amazing perks, and being able to support the channel. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.
I never participated in that kind of
and somewhere in between
us, or even loving us, on which I didn't miss you with.
What was it like growing up?
She's still making an impact on 4 houses down.
I have a couple of pieces.
trying to get this one and that one.
That works for you, but just for me,
No, okay.
They don't understand what Joseph boys and men all
Play it.
These guys, they all work together.
mean, I love all different genres.